before I go on vacation with my accent incredible, and take a short break for QSMP. I have the chat, yes. I wanted to say a few words to the international community. Sorry for my accent, it's incredible. And specifically to the Brazilian community. Because as you know, I've received some backlash and also harassment from part of this community. But obviously, I don't put everyone in the same basket. I don't want make amalgam. And obviously, for the French who listen to me, please don't make generalization about the Brazilian community. I know it's the work of a part of the community, not of everyone, and I don't want that French people think it's all Brazilian, because I know it's not. For those who make clips, summaries, and upload them to YouTube, you can take this explanation and upload it. If you are bilingual, Portuguese, English, if you can translate it in Portuguese, but only if you are bilingual. Yeah, the emote. Thank you for the emote. But only if you are bilingual, please do it. You can translate it and share it on any platform you want. Above all, the only thing I want is to people stop spreading false things about me to other people that don't follow me. If you don't want to listen, it's okay. There is nothing I can do about it. So, to come back since mid-July, I've received a lot of harassment. I like to come back to a few points that seems important to me. A lot of people call me anti-Semitic because of a joke I supposedly made comparing Mike to someone else during the presidential election. Qu'est-ce qu'il y a, chérie? Okay, no, it's just my wife taking something in the fridge. Okay, so for this supposedly joke, I will say it again. I didn't made the joke. Some people are blaming me for a joke I didn't do. You can find the clip of the joke if you want on YouTube, if you want to verify this fact. The author of the joke apologized a long time ago. And because I was also here when the joke was made, together we talked to Mike to apologize if he felt offended about it. The matter is closed since like weeks. Okay, so that's one point. The other point, for the fan art. I'm just joking about the emotes of Joueur du Grenier, but it's not related. About the fan art, I think people misinterpreted the content of the fan art. It was indeed not safe for work, NSFW, but it wasn't sexual. Like, it was a fan art representing the operation Maximus had when he had something put by the Federation in his boom boom. It was several weeks ago. This operation had been performed in the presence of Foolish, that was replaced by me on the fan art, I suppose because of the recent lore between Maximus and myself, and Selbit and their presence, plus Richas, who is supposed to be a doctor from an RP point of view. This was not a fan art with sexual connotation. However, I can totally understand that this fan art might be a bit too visual for some of you, and that it may have caused some discomfort for some viewers. I wanted to share this fan art only with Maximus, because I consider that he makes content more geared toward adults than children, all the while warning him beforehand that the fan art was not safe for work. Maximus then shared it with a wider community by showing it to Foolish and Bagheera. He apologized for that. I obviously have my share of responsibility for this story, because my initial act led to this. So sorry for that, and for anyone else who felt uncomfortable about it. I will definitely not do it again. I've I learned my lesson. Also, I think the biggest upset was showing fan art of Selbit in a not safe for work situation. As Selbit told his audience he didn't like it. I didn't know this at all. And when I found out, and thanks to all the Selbit viewers who calmly told me about this, I went straight to Selbit to apologize. I've also asked the admins if it will be possible to create a table in the Discord we share where each member could indicate what they are not comfortable with, if be it in lore, fan art, or anything else, to avoid any future quiproquo like this one. Because unfortunately, as a content creator, it's impossible for us to see every other content creator and to know. We can ask beforehand, but it will be better to have. Oh yeah, sorry, there is an ad break. It's automatic, but it's better if we have something centralized, I think. But anyway, as I said, I went to Selbit. I apologize, and I think the matter is closed. Regarding the sexual roleplay, I totally understand that it's not for everyone's taste, and there is nothing to worry about. Like, it's okay if it's not your taste. But to summarize my roleplay, my action on the server to only this sexual RP, I don't think it's fair. Because since I arrived on QSMP, 90% of my content has been building a lot of machine, either for my own use or to help other members. I also terraform a large island for my future vineyard and winery. I built the forest camp and the furry club, and I take part in roleplay involving infiltration at the Federation. And I think the sexual roleplay part represents only a tiny part of my interaction, and almost exclusively with Maximus, with whom we discuss this always beforehand together, and for which we were both okay to do it. After I arrived on the server, I saw a lot. I saw various content of the other content creators, and I thought perhaps wrongly that sex-oriented jokes were something accepted and tolerated. Like I've seen Slimesicle with Mariana doing explicit sexual RP. I saw Foolish and Vegeta miming giving each other blowjob when the French arrives. Maximus talking a lot about his boom boom. Royer doing striptease roleplay at Casualness, Forever and Pakiti kissing almost naked in front of Dapper, and so on and so on. So all this made me think that it was something possible, accepted. But I agree, maybe I have gone too far on the sexual roleplay done on my side, and I know some people think so. So, well, for these people, I'm sorry about that, and I understand the criticism, and I've listened to them, which is why Maximus and we decided to ease up on the sex part, and since then nothing had happened on that part for the past several days, and I will be like way slower and stop a little bit the sexual RP. I know also that the thing I'm most criticized for is that I had a sexual roleplay-oriented discussion with Maximus, with no act, in front of Pom, except that people forget that in the roleplay I asked Pom to turn around and cover her ears, so as not to hear what we were saying. And also, I know in the roleplay Pom is supposed to be a child, but in real life she is not, and I will never do that if she wasn't an adult. So yeah, but I understand, I can totally understand the criticism. Finally, I will say, am I a perfect person? Of course not. As a human, I'm a human and we all make mistakes. And I think the most important thing is to learn from them and not to repeat them. Will I make other mistakes in the future? Probably. Even if I'm very careful, it could happen, although I will obviously do my best not to let them happen. But there is one thing that I will never accept is spreading lies or wrong facts, and I see it a lot. You may not like my personality, my content, my roleplay. I have no problem with that, and I will gladly accept criticism or the fact that you don't necessarily like the content I produce. But please don't spread lies. Don't hate for the purpose of hating. Don't speak on behalf of other content creators either. I'm not the first one who told you that. Just because we don't talk publicly about our discussion doesn't mean we don't have them. As long as we continue to see each other on the servers, there is no particular problem between us and we want to continue interacting. Check out also what you hear or what people say about this or that content creator. There are enough clips and content on YouTube and Twitch to verify this easily. Like if you want my rediffusion, my live are public. You can see the video on demand. You can see also on YouTube after the 2 months. So yeah, there is everything. You can ask the French too, as there are often translation and or contextual problem. I think translation error make a big part in misunderstanding. So if you are not sure, ask. There is French. The French community is not as big as the Brazilian one or other, but they can help you. And don't be malicious. And no, hate is not criticism. And above all, I will never accept harassment, and I'm 100% sure that no other content creator accepts it either, so you should stop on that point. I also don't think other content creators enjoy having their chat flooded with useless message every time they interact with me. I'm a pretty solid person psychologically and with a full real life. So harassment doesn't really affect me much more, doesn't affect me much morally. But I know that if tomorrow another more emotionally sensitive content creator make a mistake and find himself in the middle of a wave of hatred such as I've experienced, perhaps it will affect him much more and lead to bad consequences. I've already witnessed that in my life, so I know what I'm talking about. Not only for him, but for everyone else involved in the server. So harassment should never be tolerated, no matter how old are you, no matter the subject. And finally, the final word, never forget that it's all about a game, it's all about cube and entertainment, and behind our characters on the server, we are just normal human. And that's it. Thank you for listening. Et voilà. Hop. C'est bon. J'ai fait le message. J'ai pas voulu le foutre sur Twitter parce que sur Twitter, il n'y a pas les expressions et je pense que c'est important. Et ces putains des modes de mort, j'aurais peut-être dû les enlever, mais c'est pas grave. Vous avez spammé. Yeah, and I hope you enjoy the island, of course. But, voilà. Merci à tous. Et avant qu'on parte en vacances, bah faut que je fasse une OP que j'ai oublié de faire. Hop. Attendez. Bonne nuit à ceux qui vont. Pas de soucis si vous restez pas.